Hello, 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 everybody. Hi. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I don't get to talk to myself. Okay, it's another Monday evening, guys. And as per usual, on a Monday evening, we chat. So we're going to have one of our chats again this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Last week when we were talking about the first agreement, and I'm going to ask Taboza to pin the topic just now, but last week when we were talking about the first agreement, be impeccable with your word, somebody, I can't remember who it was, I'm sorry, they sent a message saying, please can we talk about the little voices in your head, how you deal with those little voices in your head when they tell you that you're just not it, you're not good enough. And more often than not, a lot of us deal with it. So, and I say more often than not, because we deal with it, but somehow, remember, we don't talk about it again. This whole notion that we shouldn't talk about the things that we're feeling is actually half the time what leads to this imposter syndrome, but we'll get there. But what we're basically talking about today is imposter syndrome and how to deal with it. What is it? How do you deal with it? And how to move from it? How do you know when you even got it? How do you know, how to then work around it? What is imposter syndrome? Loosely translated, it's the inability to believe that you can do it. The inability to believe in your own excellence. The inability to believe that you have what it takes to be where you are, to be who you are. And in actual fact, you have what it takes to shine, basically. Because it must be because maybe you were just lucky. Maybe you were lucky. Maybe they just liked you. Maybe you fooled them. We tell each other, we tell ourselves all these things, right? You get a promotion at work and it can't be because you are brilliant at what you do. No, never. Brilliant at what you do. How? It must be because maybe there's nobody else to promote, Maybe there was nobody else to deal with. Guys, don't confuse humility with imposter syndrome. When you get a promotion and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Oh, I didn't expect that. Humble. But when you start, the only problem with that is that, remember what I was saying, you are always your audience. You are always your audience. So when you start saying, I really didn't think that, I didn't believe it, what you're literally saying to yourself is, I didn't think I have what it takes. Me? Of all people? Of all these people, you chose me? I don't think I have what it takes to be. Careful what you tell your mind. You will believe yourself. And then the voices start getting louder and louder and louder. These voices get louder as you feed them. Remember? You feed them and then they get there and then they get louder. So it starts, it's a small little thing. And sometimes it's not even because you are doing something. Sometimes it's because somebody told you that you're not good enough. Okay? Somebody told you, never. You'll never do it. You'll never ever achieve that. You'll never ever be able to achieve that or to be that person. And instead of fighting back and saying to that person, why not? I have what it takes. But because you didn't believe in yourself when they said it, or they were just the authority in your space at that time. Okay, sometimes it's your mother who said things. Sometimes it's your sister. But it's people that you look up to that have said that. It could be a boyfriend. It could be a girlfriend. It could be anybody. Or friends. People that you respect and that you love and that you give some sort of admiration to of sorts, and you kind of believe that they know what they're doing and they have. So if they say something is like this, it has to be like that. And you start believing what they tell you. So it could be all of that. when you say, I'm grateful for the opportunity I got to work on something that I've really invested in, and I've put time in, I've put an effort in working at it, and it's satisfying to see the hard work pay off. See what you've done there? You have now said to the body, the mind, you've said to yourself, hold on, you know what, actually, I am here because I actually did put in the effort. I actually did work hard. I did push for this to happen. I did push to be where I am today. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity. I've really done well. Now, here's somebody with imposter syndrome and how they would then deal with it. How they would deal with it. Oh, sure. Yeah, God works in wonderful ways. Hey, I never ever believed it. And you find people come to you, yeah, mara untusitse because neki tusa. Mujimu tusa by tusa. Again. So don't make it sound like it was just handed over to me and this is where God was like, oh, you know what? You, my darling child, I'm going to put you at the top and you have done no work to get there. If you've worked for it, then you deserve to be there. Why is it that when you've worked hard for something and you get it, then God works in mysterious ways? There's no mystery. You worked for it. Where's the mystery? The mystery is when you were sitting on your laurels doing absolutely nothing, and then somebody came, go. We hear there's somebody in here that we can take for 1, 2, and 3. Then you're like, yo, yeah. Or you meet up with somebody, you don't expect to be meeting, you meet up, random meet up with a person, and it's more of, hi, there's this opportunity, would you be keen? Then you can be like, maybe I was just at the right place at the right time. Great. But please, if it's something that you've worked hard for, that you are in because you've actually done the time, and the time is the work. If you've done the time and you've done the work, and the achievements come because of that, it cannot be luck. Have you heard, I think it's Tiger Woods who used to say, every time I practice, I get even luckier. And that made me think. I mean, that's like, so you work hard at it, you put the effort in, you and it looks like you're getting even luckier. So you work on it. The imposter syndrome takes away from you the fun of achieving something, the fun of the success that you've achieved. You don't, it's as if you don't deserve all these good things that are happening to you. You're in a beautiful relationship and you think, so much luck. No, because you've worked on yourself, and maybe this person's also worked on themselves, and then you are together and you are happy and you continue to work on yourselves. It's a beautiful relationship. Then you're fine, So it's not luck per se. Yes, maybe meeting that person was some sort, but working on it, that's effort. That effort is necessary. You can have all the luck in the world and all the opportunities in the world presented to you, given to you on a silver platter. If you're not going to work for it, it's not going to last long. It's going to be short-lived. Okay? Switch on that laptop. It's going to be very short-lived. So those are things that I think we need to remember that. I mean, I remember last week when we said, when we spoke about the voices in your head that constantly tell you that you are not worthy, that you just, you are not the one, maybe people made a mistake on you. And then all you do is just surrender to those voices that are invading your space. That's what they're doing. They are literally invading your space. And then you are saying to the voices, yes, go ahead. Guys, what was meant by that is that you continue to fight for yourself. But when you continue to fight for yourself, you fight for even your own sanity. It's something that you need to fight for constantly, daily. Okay? And Malehafa says is that self-sabotage. Malehafa, it leads, you actually start self-sabotaging. So self-sabotage would be something else, but very similar. So you start self-sabotaging because you don't believe that you're good enough. Okay, so you find people, and you see a lot of people doing this in relationships especially, where when they meet the guy or the woman, the person that they have been wanting, that they've been praying for, and you went and you did a lot of work on yourself, and then the person comes into your life, and then you start thinking, it's too good to be true. Oh my gosh, it's those voices again. Yeah? Imposter syndrome. It's too good to be true. It cannot be, maybe. But where self-sabotage then comes in is where you now start making the problems. They don't exist, you make them. You start looking at them and saying, oh my gosh, no ways. Oh, no. When I put my finger under his nose, oh, he breathes. Oh, no, I must dump him. Of course he's going to breathe. Now you're trying to find all the excuses, even those that don't exist. Okay? So now you're trying to mess up this good thing, all because you want to believe that you are right in thinking that it's too good to be true. And you do that to yourself. So the work that you put into yourself, guys, it's so important to do this work on yourself. This is why it's so important to go for therapy. This is why it's so important to have a coach. This is why it's so important to talk and to just discuss things and be comfortable. Read up on what you're feeling and be comfortable with the things that are in here. A lot of the times we feel things in here, in our heart, in our heads, and we know that it's there. But we struggle to deal with it purely because it's like, it's too hard to look there. Okay? And of course, sometimes it's too hard because things that happen, life happens, and some things that happen, you just want to block away. But the only way you're going to be able to go forward is if you start fixing those things. Because if you don't fix those things, they attack you on your way forward. As you fight forward, these things are there trying to pull you back. They almost sit there and they're like, come back here. Come back here. You know, so you literally need to quieten them. But to quieten them, you have to deal with them. Yeah? If you don't deal with them, if you don't deal with your problems, they multiply. That's what happens. It's the same thing as not dealing with your issues in a relationship. They will multiply. They don't disappear. I wish I was that lucky. I wish in life we were all that lucky where when things happen, you just look away and they just disappear. Things don't disappear, guys. You can't sweep them under the carpet because they will come out. You will have to deal with. Remember, where your mind goes, your behind follows. So if you focus on it, it will become your reality. You are right, Lalabusisiwe. It will become your reality, and you have to be very careful to deal with that. Angel K says it's hard being in an environment where being a better person is frowned upon. It's sad because you end up blending with everyone else. You shouldn't blend with anyone else. Under no circumstance should you blend with everyone else. If two of you are the same, one is unnecessary. One is totally unnecessary. And if people are trying to dumb you down, that should be a sign that you need to move out. You need to remove yourself from this. Guys, love yourself enough to walk away. Love yourself enough to look at a situation and say, I cannot be dealing with the voices in my head and dealing with you putting those voices in my head as well. Walk away. If it's not serving you, then it's not worth you having that. Okay? So let's go back to the talking about the imposter syndrome. You know, here's the thing. You find that you land a new job. And because when you started, let me use because I want an example, I'm going to use a call center environment. Okay, so you all came in as one cohort. It was like 10 of you came in as one cohort, and you all started as call center agents. You were all trained the same as call center agents, but you put in the work. So you were at work on time, you took the extra courses that were given, you were studying on the side, you were doing things, you were listening, you were understanding. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you were doing all these things to better yourself. When you are given feedback, you take it into consideration and you implement. When your manager talks to you, you implement the suggestions that you are given. You listen to what you are being told, you hear what you are being told, and you move that way. Okay? And then they come to you and you're told, Hore, you know what, you've done well. Let's promote you. You're going to be supervisor. So now, and I'm not entirely sure how it works in call center system, but I'm just, using that as an example. Then you're now the supervisor. You're supervising the cohort that you came in with, okay? Who might then turn around and say, hey, onale like you, wena. Yeah, hey, wena dintho tsa ho di ichapa ne, hey, wena onale like you, it's king dintho tsa ho di iketsahala. It's not like you've worked on it. Yeah? Now, you find that somebody says that they don't know better. I don't even want to say they're jealous. Let's just put it at they don't know any better, and that's fine, and they have their own issues. Remember, when people do things to you, it's not always about you. Yeah? I'll say that again, and we'll talk about it when we get, when we talk about the second agreement. The 4 agreements. The second one is don't take things personally. We'll get there. Again, we're going to do those once every, I think the last Monday of every month. We're going to, at least for the next 4 months. So 3 months to go. So basically, it's not about you. When somebody does that, remember that their domestication, their growth, their background is what determines how they see the world. How I see the world and how the person next to me sees the world is not necessarily the same. It is determined by my experiences. It is determined by where I've been. It's determined by what I do. It's determined by the people that I've been around. We all come from different households. Omung comes from a household where they are told, oh, abanye bantu bane like. Omung comes from a household where they tell them how to work for everything. Work hard. And you get there and you do that and somebody says, you were lucky. Remember, that's their reality. That's what they believe. It doesn't have to be what you believe. And that's the most important thing. And there's people who are always so hard on themselves. It's like, it can never just be, you can't make a mistake. You can't have an error. If you do have an error, oh my gosh, it's because you're not good enough. No, it's because you're human. To err is human. It is because we are human. These things will happen. And actually, these things should happen. How do you grow if you don't do anything wrong? How do you move forward if everything is always perfect? I remember having to explain this to my daughter. And I said to her, Nana, remember that in life, when you are with people, you don't all walk the same path. You all have your different lessons to learn. So, and I'll give you a simple example. You all were in high school together. You passed matric together. You all went to varsity together. One completes their course, 3 years, record time. They've got their degree. They're done. Another one, after the first year, realized, no, hold on. This course is not exactly what I wanted. It's not what I thought it was. Maybe my career guidance was not what I thought. Changes courses and starts doing something else. Therefore, it delayed by a year because they've started doing something else. Another one has a mental breakdown because, you know what? It's a lot. Dealing with a lot of things. Cannot continue maybe for a year or 2, comes back. Another one we all will have different issues. It does not mean that the other one is less of, or the other one is less of anything. All it means is that walk your journey. The biggest mistake we make is this looking on the side and comparing ourselves to this person and that person and always wanting to be better than, because competition is healthy, but too much of anything cannot be good. Our competition cannot be, you claim to be best friends, but it's so bad that ha totsi 80%, we're now totsi 79%, oh my gosh. No, it should be, yo, Chomi, we are doing great. We are rocking it. That's healthy, okay? But remember that my role, and in fact, my route in life is not necessarily the next person's route in life. And somebody will seem to, you must watch, look around you and check. You'll find there's that one person that achieves everything. And then something stops them, go demo. And then, oh my gosh, this one is a problem. And this is why I always say to people, what we achieve by ourselves in our separate spaces does not make you a better person than the next person. okay? Doesn't make you a better person. What will make you a better person is working on yourself and knowing who you are and standing up and actually being a good person. Being a good person means you're not going to look down on others. It means you're not going to push others so low that they actually start having the imposter syndrome because you are part of the voices that are in their head. Yeah? It's not a competition like that, guys. Life should never be a competition like that. And once you find yourself in that type of competition, know that it is unhealthy. It is unhealthy. The competition should be against yourself. You know, you've been watching the Olympics, no? You see how some of the runners are like, okay, in training, I did this, and now in the race, it was my personal best. This is what I achieved. That's how you compete against yourself. You know that this is how far I reached. Now I want to get here. You find somebody who only gets a degree at 40 and another one who had a degree at 23. They have degrees. It doesn't matter when they got them. They have them. Of course, ideally, we want to have it as early as possible. But you know what? That person could be dealing with other things. That person may have lost both parents, had to work, and then only when they were 30, they got the opportunity to start studying, and then so-and-so died, and then they couldn't. Life has things. That's why it's life. In our little pitfalls and all sorts of things, and it's okay. Stop fighting and competing, because it's that competition that starts feeding those little voices. You see, you're not good enough. Now you see you're not doing as well as so-and-so. Oh my gosh, you shouldn't be where you are now. No, guys, we need to work to come back from that. Now, there's typically 5 types of people that will, how do I put it, that will suffer from imposter syndrome, okay? And of course, we're talking general terms here, and I will break it down. The perfectionist, yeah? The superwoman or the superman, the natural genius, the soloist, and the expert. Yeah? 5 of them. So these people are always extra hard on themselves. This is how it happens. You're so hard on yourself. There is no room for error. There is no, oh my gosh, if I make a mistake, I'm not good enough. There is a problem. Everything seems to be a problem. So the perfectionist. If things don't go according to your plan, it resembles failure. If you are not married at 25 and have your first child at 27 and a house with a picket fence at 29, oh my gosh, I failed. If you don't have your honors degree at 26 and working as a manager at 27 or 28, oh my gosh, I failed. No, you haven't failed. That's not what failure looks like. Failure is you sitting down and refusing to get up and try again. That is failure. But you standing up and fighting for your life and fighting for yourself can never be failure. Some things the pressures that we put on ourselves at times, you realize what it's like, guys, hold on. Why am I putting myself under so much pressure when I don't even have control of the things that I'm putting myself under pressure for? I have control over myself. Yeah? I have control over the things that happen in my life, some things that happen in my life, and also that control only to a certain extent. I can't control when people die. I can't control if I lose a loved one. I can't control maybe somebody who was sponsoring my education losing their job and therefore me not being able to carry on, losing their job and therefore me not being able to carry on with what I was studying. I can't control not being married at 24. What if I haven't met the right person? Now you're going to fight to meet anybody, and whatever comes, you just take and you get married. Oh my gosh, no. No. Gone are those days where you should be judged for when you got married, when you had kids, how many kids you have. Guys, even if you don't have kids and you're 45 and you're single and you're happy, I'd be happy for you. You see, for me, the happiness should be in here and in here. far more than it is out there. You don't have to show me happiness. You have to be the happiness. I'll see it through you. It radiates through you. Guys, you can see a happy person. They don't have to come and say, yo, okay, happy Joan. You'll see it. The very same way that you can look into somebody's eyes and see sadness. It's the exact same thing. You will see it in somebody's eyes. So these are the things that you work on and you deal with. Don't put yourself under pressure unnecessarily. I hope I'm making sense there. Don't put yourself under pressure unnecessarily. You don't have to. Superman, superwoman, whoa, you're always saving the day. When I'm staring everywhere. Okay, let me stop before I age myself even further. But Kwena, you know, that main person that always rescues everyone, that always, oh my gosh, now your measure of success is how much you can solve everybody else's problems. What about your own? Have you noticed that those people who find that that they are there for everybody, hardly have anybody there for them? You know why? And you can't blame other people. Here's the thing. If you are presenting the I can do it all, I can fix it all, what's your problem? I'll fix it. What's yours? I'll fix it. My assumption will be that even your own problems you can fix. So you can't blame people. This is where we need to stop and actually check. There are things that you cannot do. Now you find that a person just because you couldn't help someone, now you feel like you have failed. No, you're not God. And even God has given us free will. That's why we can fail. Now when you want to play God, you want to play your idea of the rescuer, the fixer. You are doing it. You are rescuing everybody that needs rescuing. Guys, it doesn't work like that. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling like, oh my God, it's all heavy for me, you should be able to stop and say, it's heavy for me. It's as simple as that. Waking up and actually saying, I am tired. Today is not a good day for me. You know, I need to take some time for me. I need to do work on me. It's so important that you do that. Okay? So it cannot be that you are the fixer, the steering for everyone. Every single person who helps you. No, it doesn't work like that. And that ability to help everyone. Where did you get that? Where did you think you got that? Huh? And there are people whose self-esteem is helped by how much they can help other people. So as much as they can help, or at least if they can help you, then they feel better about themselves. Oh my gosh, I helped them. I must be good. I am great. No, that doesn't determine who you are. Sometimes you're helping people for selfish reasons. That's a problem. That's a problem. Then there's the genius. There's a lot of those geniuses around. They have different struggles, okay? Number one, it's accepting that they're the genius. It's like, oh my gosh, I am a genius. That's a problem on its own, okay? And then once they have accepted that they are a genius, the assumption is, if I am good at maths and I am considered a genius at maths, I should be good at relationships. I should be good at life. I should be good at exercising. I should be good at everything. I should be able to do everything. You know where we get that, Hahulune? You watch, and these things start from a very early age. Watch little kids in school. There's that one child who's being pushed so hard. This child achieves straight A's. This child on the track, number one. This child, when they play that sport, they're always winning. They are the swimmers. They are the squash kids. They do this, they do this, they do that. You're going to crack. At some point, you're going to crack. Guys, we're human. So when things go wrong for somebody like that, then the voices start. Do you see? You're useless. You're not good enough. You can't do it. You can't. You quieten those voices, because it's not right that you could think that you could do every single thing. Yes, you could be good and great at a few things. There will probably be one eto shapang tizinyan. It could be where you're great at everything, confused ke bashimane, or confused ke banyana. You're great at everything, but do you understand? Or you find a person is an achiever everywhere else in their lives, and they've got everything, but life just does not go the way it was supposed to go. And now it breaks them down. That's the problem. Now you find that person, they can't deal with not being the genius and not being the main person who does everything right. So those voices then say, you see, you actually were never good enough. You were good enough, and you probably are still good enough. You just were not good at every single thing, and that's okay too. Nobody needs to die. Okay? Then there's the soloists. I mean, as the word says, but most tasks they can complete without asking for help. So now when they have to ask for help, it's a problem. So they don't need anyone. If I need to ask for help, then it's an indictment on my competence. Oh my gosh, have I become so hopeless that I must ask for help? No, you're just human. Then there's the experts. They suffer from, there's people, for example, they're an expert in a certain field. Okay? And because you're an expert in your field, somebody comes and they show you just a different angle of your field. It's still your field. It doesn't change. It's still your field and you're still great at it. But somebody comes and shows you just a different aspect of it. And you feel like, oh, I failed. Oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. You see, this is why they are showing me all these things. These people are out to attack me. And the voices, are they are there to just support everything that's wrong that's in their mind. So what do the voices say? Yeah, you're not good enough. Yeah, what? Now you start feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to study everything. I need to know every single thing. Guys, it's okay to not know everything. It's okay. It's all right. Now, how do you overcome this imposter syndrome? How do you overcome these I'm not worthy conversations that you have with yourselves in your own head? Number one, break the silence. Talk about it. Deal with it. See somebody. Chat to a friend. Chat to your priest. See a psychologist. Get a coach. Talk to somebody. Just break that silence. Because breaking the silence also gives you a way of naming that is an issue. So sometimes we are so scared of a problem that we don't name it. And for as long as it's not named and you don't know what it is, it just becomes, oh my God, it's so huge. It's a problem. It's huge. It's just hanging over your head all the time. But once you start saying, my problem, I doubt that I am good enough. And then maybe that person will ask you, okay, did you study for what you're doing? Yes, I did study. Okay. So when you went for the interview to get the job, did you meet the requirements? Yes, I met all the requirements. Okay. So you met all the requirements. Why do you think you're not good enough? And then the penny drops. By yourself, those conversations don't go as easy. So then the penny drops and you're like, but hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. So break that silence. Sometimes it's a bad habit that we were taught, that we must keep things to ourselves and we must do. Guys, come on. If there's an issue, get somebody to help you. That's all. It's as simple as that. There's an issue, get somebody to help you with that issue. That's it. Another one. Separate the feeling from fact. If it means you need to write it down. And you're like, okay, hold on. Why am I feeling so stupid? What's happening with me? Number one, be careful of the things that you say to yourself. How many times have I said, you are always your audience. So you don't ever call yourself stupid. That should be flag number one for you to say, whoa, why am I even saying such things to myself? That's number one. But say you have gotten there and then now you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so horrible. Sit down and do a simple table. And one side you're going to say reality and the other side you're going to say fact. Am I a good coach or not? Then you go to, okay, before I know that, do I know what it takes for me to be a coach? Yes, I do. Is that a fact? Yes. Okay, it's a fact. I know. How do you know that it's a fact? I know that it's a fact because I've done the work, because I studied it, because I have the qualification, and because I continue to improve myself. Because remember, knowledge, how 2002, if it's not worked on and improved, it becomes outdated. So you continue to improve yourself. So have I continued to improve myself? Yes, I have. Okay, so that's fact. Now, then you go back. You ask yourself those questions. Am I in the space to talk to people? Can I help people? Reality? Sure, reality can say, hey, I can show if I'm helping people. Then you start listening. You start listening to, thank you so much, you have helped me. That's a coachee. That's somebody that you have helped saying to you, oh, thank you so much, yes. Or that is your boss saying to you, thank you, that's what I needed. Thank you, you've done it perfectly. You listen to those things. Reality. So does it mean I know what I'm doing and I'm good at what I'm doing? Yes, take it. Go back. So you start looking for those little things that make you realize that you do have what it takes. Because the imposter syndrome starts with, I don't have what it takes to be where I am. Oh my gosh, what if I'm literally an imposter? What if I am lying to the people? I don't know what I'm doing. They bank gets a fever, and when they realize that I'm this useless person, oh my gosh, no. So you start doing those things and you separate reality from, and when I say reality, not even reality actually, you separate your belief from fact, because your belief is not necessarily fact. Okay? So separate those two. Third one. Start, and I always say this to my coachees, keep a little journal where you journal your triggers. So you recognize when you are feeling like, I gotta give a fraud. When you start feeling this way, you recognize it, you note when you started feeling what was happening. So I am feeling this way because when they walked into the office and they asked for my help, I didn't know what to do. Now you are noting the things, okay? I am feeling this way because my co-workers said I'm not good enough. I'm going to sneeze. Apologies. I do apologize. My gosh, in my 24 years of broadcasting, I think this is the second time I've ever sneezed on air. Anyway, we move right along. So, do you understand what I'm saying? So you start keeping a journal of what is making me feel this way. For example, you get into the office and they tell you, oh, you're the first black person to do this. Yeah, and it's me who's done it, and I'm great at it. It's excellence. That's good. So start recognizing the people and the things that are said to you that make you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. Macy Mamela says, is anxiety a trigger for imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is a trigger for anxiety. I don't know if I'm making sense, but imposter syndrome is a trigger for anxiety as opposed to the other way around. So you not believing in yourself and believing that you can do it makes you anxious. That's what actually starts getting you. And by the time you recognize it, you see the anxiety and you think, oh my gosh, I'm anxious because I don't know what I'm doing. No, it's actually started with the other. It usually starts the other way around. So you need to deal with what is causing the anxiety, because the anxiety becomes the effect, right? So cause, imposter syndrome, effect, anxiety. I hope I'm making sense. Quality Photography says, but what about when you keep talking but nothing gets to be done because you're always reminded of past mistakes? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? When I say break the silence and talk, I get sure just talk, fella, to anybody. Because there are people that are actually not worthy of your discussions. There's people that are not worthy of you sharing yourself like that. Okay? So if you're going to always remind me of my past mistakes and, then it means you don't want to pass those mistakes. Remember, It's not about you. That's not about you. It means that person has an issue with letting go and has an issue with moving forward. You can't help them. You help yourself move forward. Right? So now you need to start looking elsewhere and start seeing how do you deal with all of this. Okay? Where was I? Oh, I was talking about how to. Sorry, I got distracted there. I was talking about how we work on helping yourself with the imposter syndrome. Fourth one. Accentuate the positivity. Recognize the positivity. Yeah. I know you're told, Hore, hey, for you to be humble, stop noting the things that you do right. Nonsense. If you are good at it, know that you're good at it. You know why it helps you? When you know that you're good at something and somebody wants to break you down, they come and say you're useless. You can turn around and say, but that's a lie. I'm not useless. I'm good at it. And this is why I say I'm good at it. Yeah? But you start believing everybody else that says negative things because you have never stopped to focus on your positivity. Now, focusing on your positivity has got nothing to do with you bragging to people about the things that you're good at. It's got nothing to do with you being arrogant because you are good at something. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you strive for excellence, but you know the things that you can do and that you're good at. And you're able to stop and tick. And you can look in the mirror and say, well done. Today was a great day. You did that beautifully. Congratulations to you. Sometimes we wait for everybody else to congratulate us before we congratulate ourselves. Guys, let's be nice to ourselves. We only have this one life, this one body to deal with. If you are not nice to this person and you're expecting everybody else to come and be nice to this person, that's not going to work. Okay? Another one. Last one. Develop a healthy response to failure. Develop a healthy response to making mistakes. Because you are human. Remember what Henry Ford said? He said, failure is the only opportunity to begin again more intelligently. Hear that. To begin again more intelligently. Because now you're starting with the knowledge of, okay, so this is where I went wrong with that one. Now I can't be repeating the same mistake. But if you are too scared to even look at your mistakes and learn from them, it means you don't want to look there. So what's going to happen? You're going to find yourself making the same mistake, until you stop and you actually start looking back and saying, hold on, why am I making the same mistake? What's going on? It's the same thing as finding and being in a relationship and you find the same thing happening over and over and over again. This is where you stop and you ask yourself, whoa, hold on. What's my contribution? Let me look back and learn from the things that have happened to me. What's my contribution in this state? I hope I'm making sense to you. Tshego Molele says, I relate to this all too well. I remember I finally got accepted to study law. I didn't want to tell people in case I don't make it because I didn't think I was good enough. Now I'm doing my last year. Well done, baby girl. Well done on doing it. And you know what? You will make an amazing lawyer if you believe it. If that's what you believe that you want to do and you can actually go for it, then yes. Remember that if you want to have a chat with us, feel free to send us a request and we will click on that and then we can have a chat, okay? Malhava says, I'm so guilty. I used to avoid speaking my feelings. I'll avoid the topic or issue. But funny, I write all my frustrations down and would feel better. But I mean, I will avoid the person. Okay, I hear you. And look, we're different. Take it out. If writing and journaling is what works for you, wonderful. I'll give you an example. I'm not a journaler. And I know the benefits of journaling. So I don't journal in a sense, I don't sit and write down feelings and I think that goes back to seeing people read other people's diaries when I was much younger and I was like, no, I can't do that. But I'm a talker. So even if I don't write it down, I will talk about it. I will discuss how I feel. I'll even talk to myself about the problem. Me and that mirror, very good friends. So my journaling, so to speak, is in front of the mirror talking to my coach or talking to somebody going for therapy, but I'm a talker. So find what works for you, okay? Tshego says, now I'm constantly wondering whether I'll even be good enough in a work environment. So didn't you just say you completed your law degree? I don't understand why you're stressing about being good enough in a work environment. Finish your law degree. Focus, Nana. Finish your law degree and be fine with that. Know that you are already doing it. If you are passing and you are doing it, you are doing it. So in the work environment, what's going to happen? You are going to just apply what you learned, and then you're also going to learn from that environment. Don't be so hard on yourself. You haven't even started working, but you're already pulling yourself back. Don't do that. Be nicer to yourself. This is where you actually do the opposite. This is where you say to yourself, we will work hard, but we will be great at it. This is what I love. This is what I know I'm good at. This is what I can do, and I will work at it. You'll be amazed at how much you tell those, every time you tell yourself those things, they actually stick in your head. Guys, when I say to you, you are always your audience. Please don't take it lightly. Always, you are always listening to yourself. Every second, every single thing that you say, you hear. Okay? Moving on. Please talk about the self-imposed aspects of the imposter syndrome. I think I did touch on them, but just to go back to it just a little bit, it's the whole not believing in yourself, and it basically comes your background. Growing up, you were told not to be, little things. I read something that I thought was just amazing yesterday from Kagiso Msimang, and I thought, wow. She was saying that a simple thing like a child who walks into the room, we all have this intuition, all of us. So a child walks into a room and looks at you and says, what's wrong? And you're like, oh, nothing. You're hiding it from the child. But what you're also doing is telling the child to stop believing their intuition, because when the person that they respect and trust is lying to them. That happens to you as you grow older. So you get to a point where you stop believing, you stop even feeling anything here about you. Everything has to be from outside. It has to come in. So you hear people saying you're good enough, then you believe it. But self, you need to come back and understand the things that you're good at, and know the things that you work hard at, and know the things that you can do. And this is why you go and you do your training mode. What is the fact? What is my belief, and what is the fact? And you do that, and you mark, and you continue to do that, to work on yourself. Because of course, remember, most of the time, this imposter syndrome as well, the voices are in your head, nobody else's head but yours. You are the one who believes I'm not good enough. You're the one who believes, oh my gosh, I can't do it. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's not that. So start actually telling those voices, I haven't even done it. You're already telling me that I'm not good enough. I'm going to work on it and try it, and let's see how it goes. And like that, you continue. Okay? Miss Noti says, I was accused of sleeping with my boss because I was promoted to manager when I didn't even take lunch at times just so that the work is done. Nana, I have learned something. Let them talk. Don't even bother to explain to them, guys, Limponi working. No, they don't deserve that. Nobody deserves your time like that, especially people who go around saying such things about you. Don't deserve your energy nor time. You know the truth. So you stand and look at yourself in the mirror, and you start working on you. That's all you need to do. Girl from Soweto says, I'm late. It's fine. You'll pick it up. You'll get back. Guys, our YouTube channel is up. Mapaseka Mokwele. Right? Yeah. Just search Mapaseka Mokwele on YouTube, and we've got some of our videos up there, and Taboza continues to put up a few more videos. Even this one will go up on the YouTube channel as well. So those will definitely be there. So please, you can always go there to watch. Okay. Musi says, I also think in relationships, when your partner keeps cheating on you and you keep forgiving them, eventually you lose yourself and think, I'm not good enough. That's why he's cheating. So I can't leave. Again, it's not about you. Things that people do are not necessarily about you. He's cheating because he's the cow. He's cheating because he's an idiot. He's cheating because he doesn't know what he wants. He's cheating because actually he's not good enough for you. He's cheating for so many other reasons. It's got nothing to do with you. You cannot stop and say, I am ugly because he's cheating. What? I am not good enough because he's cheating. he can't validate me to that point where if he does something, it's because I'm not good enough. No. This is where we need to stop and bring ourselves back and say, actually, I am beautiful and I am clever and I am a hard worker and I do deserve love and I do deserve better. And you know what? He's cheating because he's got to know his own issues. Yeah? And if you want to walk, you actually stand up and you say, this is not the nonsense that I'm going to take. Okay? When somebody cheats, it's not because hauna figa. If hauna yona, ukopane lwena usina yona. So why then is he trying to cheat a year into the relationship, like the figure it disappeared somewhere there? No, guys. Even if in a relationship you've just had a baby and you've just gained a lot of weight, if he's going to be that immature and step out just because your body has changed after you have had your child with him, that's not your problem, it's his problem. Yeah? So don't be so hard on yourself. We need to be kinder to ourselves. Please, let's remember that. We need to be easier and kinder. We are always easier on so many, on other people. Have you realized how you're always willing to give other people a chance? You can never give yourself a chance. That friend of yours, your cousin, your kids, everybody else can have a second chance, but you can't have a second chance. Why? Why? Yeah? Shouldn't being hard on ourselves by default make us better or more successful persons? No. No. There's a difference. Being hard on yourself means being mean to yourself. You can push yourself without being hard on yourself. Motivate yourself, push yourself to get there, work hard, do the things. But being hard on yourself is you telling yourself, you're stupid, you're not good enough. Nope, I don't agree with that at all. If I'm going to motivate myself and push myself, I'm going to do it in the most loving of ways so that I know that it actually feels good. It shouldn't be a fear. It shouldn't be that if I feel, oh my God, I'm so useless because I have been so hard on myself to get that. If I do fail, I'm going to say, okay, I tried. Okay, and I failed. Sure, okay, now I stand up and I walk on. Right. What can I do better? What did I do there that made me fail? How can I do it differently? How can I change it? Motivate yourself and push yourself to be a better person. Don't be hard on yourself. Be kinder to yourself. Love yourself more. It's like a little child. How your little child walks into the room. You know, your child comes in and they run, and then they fall. They're still small, they're learning how to walk, they fall. What do? It's okay, my baby, stand up, stand up, stand up. And you teach them. What you're teaching them there is that it's okay, baby. Even if you fall, stand up and try again and walk. Give yourself the same love. If you fall, you stand up again and you walk. It doesn't mean is over. No. Go to your balance, lovey. Go to your balance and forward you go again. Okay? We're moving on. Pinky Muhasho says, I'm one of the so-called lucky girls. I'm a living testimony that working hard, love what you do and do what you love. I'm glad. I'm glad. David Webb, I see you. If 58 says, our shoe sizes are not the same, hence we cannot all wear the same shoes. Hello. I hear you. Mabu Matala says, you're talking to me. Thank you so much. Repeat number 5. Which number 5 am I repeating? Why am I 3 of the 5 mentioned? It's okay. Yes, it is possible. That's Katla Mahas. Why am I 3 of the 5 mentioned? Yes, it's very, very possible. Dude, there's people who are all 5. It's very, very possible. Okay. Oh, develop a healthy response to failure and mistake making. Yeah, that was number 5. Okay. Mace Memela says, I'm the perfectionist. Well, then start. Now you know. So allow yourself to just be nicer to yourself. Allow yourself to do things, and if you don't do great, stop berating yourself, stop hitting yourself and saying, why was I such a, you're not good enough. This is where you stop. Now you know that you are the perfectionist. So now when you see yourself doing something and it doesn't go, you stop and you then talk to yourself. Have that conversation with yourself. It's okay. It's okay. The fact that you have not done this one correctly does not mean you have failed. So let's stop. Let's try again. And remove. Okay? Can you be a low-performing perfectionist? Yes, that's why you can be a whole lot of these things. You know, sometimes you are a perfectionist, but you're here. Guys, there's a spectrum of everything. Remember, being a perfectionist doesn't mean if you're a perfectionist from 1 to 5, you must be a 5 to be a perfectionist. There's a perfectionist at 5 and a perfectionist at 10 and a perfectionist at 1. The fact that you are in the spectrum, at 1 you'd be a low performing perfectionist, and at 10 you would be the high performing. Now, again, you could be a perfectionist and then start working on yourself in such a way that because you are this perfectionist, you don't even allow yourself to try anything, to go out and do anything. You know why? Because you are too scared that, what if I fail? So you're always pulling yourself back. So you're always coming back to who you are, or at least to who you think you are, and you're hiding below. So you are a perfectionist, but because you're so scared, you don't even venture out and do other things. Yeah? So calm down and study. And if you find that that's who you are and that's where you are, guys, get help. Please, I cannot say it enough. Get counseling. Go for coaching. Get help. Talk to somebody. It always, always helps. Taboza, you need to put up the coaching number just quickly. We're about to go, but we need the coaching number. I'm hoping that you're understanding and yeah, that you're hearing me. Aren't perfectionists by default high performers, or can they be on the left curve? I think I've just explained that. Okay. To thy own self be true. This is very true. Okay. I'm the superwoman, and it always backfires because I don't get help when I ask. And then you get so upset. Ne? But you've told everybody, you've made them believe that you are the steering and you can do everything. Yeah? So, yeah. Okay. Malihafa says, that's how I'm feeling right now, that I couldn't be there for the one person I really need to be there for. But Fibro said, no, not this time, girl. You've got fibro and you're being hard on yourself? Oh, baby girl, you know, already fibromyalgia is like, and I'm assuming it's fibromyalgia, but fibromyalgia is one of the worst things that I'm dealing with in my life. And when it hits you, please listen to your body and be kinder to yourself. And people that love you and people that actually want you and understand you will also understand when you are in the middle of a flare and you can't be there. Guys, you're not a horse. People shouldn't be sitting there with, go, 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 and you must just keep running and keep running. No, that's not who you are. You're human. It's worse if you've got any disease or if you're anything that makes you feel, if you're not okay. Normalize taking time out and dealing with self. Whether it be pain, physical, mental, any other, emotional, deal. Let's deal. It's important that we deal. It's very, very important that we deal. Okay? Guys, it's almost 8 o'clock. Can you believe it's gone so quickly? We have a minute to go and we need to run. I hope you guys, there's so many messages that I couldn't get through. I do apologize. I couldn't get there. Just to give you the number again, the WhatsApp number if you need a coaching session. And yes, we do virtual coaching sessions as well. 060-962-6191, 060-962-6191. Please remember that I'm not actually the person who mans that line. So please don't send your life story there and all of that. Please, if you just send it to say I need help, I'd like to do this, and then that's what happens. And remember, you can always get our sessions on YouTube. We will save them. We'll save them on our YouTube channel, and then you take it from there. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the session, and I hope it's helped you there. Feel free to inbox me, tell me more about what you're going through, what you're feeling, and more topics that you'd like to talk about. Feel free to share those as well. And remember to be nice to yourself. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to say well done to yourself. Remember to say congratulations to yourself. Remember to look in the mirror and just say, oh my baby, you're looking beautiful today. It's okay to have that chat with self. Okay? It's important that you recognize self and you give self what self needs for you to go on. Tawa and Khomozo, please can I take this one call? There's one person that would like to chat to us. Please can I, guys? Just, I'm getting a no. Pet Patsima, I want to talk to you. Angel K, now I see you. I see the number of people that have requested to be live with us. They're saying no, guys. They're saying no. We're already a minute in, and I can't do this. Pat, I've tried pressing you, and I eat before they come and switch off. Because Pat, quickly, Pat is here. We can't switch off because Pat is here. Hi, Pat. Hi, Pat. Pat Lena. Okay, guys, we're gonna say goodbye. Thank you very much for being part of the show. Until next week. Mwah. Thank you very much. Bye.